Is Street Fighter 6 balanced? Well, if the answer was yes, then this video technically would not exist because that would just be the video. I would just say, yes, Street Fighter 6 is a balanced game. Everybody's happy. You can choose any character and win. Unfortunately, that's semi not true. So today we're going to talk about what exactly makes certain characters better, but also how do some of the lower characters also shine under certain mechanics in the game. So of course, like this video, please subscribe and comment down below and leave a like. So for the two characters I'm going to use, it's going to be Luke, good old Luke, and Manon, my old man, dude. I remember, dude, when Street Fighter 6 first came out, this was the character I played. I love her. I always hope that she gets buffs. I always hope that she does better. Obviously, Idom's doing great with her. But these are two characters that play different games, but are in the same game. Does that make sense? So certain characters like Luke. So the reason why Luke is strong, right? The reason why Luke is a strong character is because he has many ways of doing damage, right? Luke has a crouching medium kick and do a drive rush. Luke has a heavy punch and do like a drive rush, right? Luke can do a lot of moves in the drive rush. Luke can do meterless combos, right? This ain't even optimal because I missed the first couple of shots. Boom, full screen. Very easy. The other part is when it comes to how these characters interact with the game's mechanics. And what I mean by that is if I have Manon here set to DI, right, which is something that you should be doing against certain moves, right? Something you should be doing against certain moves. If I have Manon here block, right, we'll do something like this. Bink. I get punished. Oh no, I hate my life. Now Manon gets a medal off of me. I'm not loving life. But if I do this and I have 3 bars, the Manon technically made the right call, right, to DI my charge heavy knuckle, but instead they lost 4,000 HP. Because if the Manon doesn't DI, what happens, as you see above my head, is Luke is +4, meaning that he can really, you know, and he's in crouching medium kick range, right, which is even more funny, right? So you can actually like do something like this if you feel like it, right? Depends on depends on the thing. Right? So Luke is playing a very Luke is playing a very, very strong game overall, right? He has a DP, he has a fireball, right? He has a level 1, he has all that jazz. The other part is when it comes to Luke beating the game mechanics is that if you make your opponent drive reversal and then you block it, as you see, Luke is +6. What is also +6? The crouching medium punch, right? Which is a punish counter. Now, of course, crouching medium punch did get nerfed because this button used to be very good, right? So if you do DI against Luke, he could have an option. If you do drive reversal against Luke and he blocks, you know, he might have an option. The other way is that if you parry, right? So let's say, right, you drive parry, right? You think he's going to do knuckle. Boom. Right? And Luke also has a throw loop. Now, throw loops in Street Fighter 6 are always going to be a hot commodity, but there's never a downside of having a throw loop. Like, nobody is ever like, damn, my character really has a throw loop. That's trash. Capcom needs to get rid of that. If your character has a throw loop, 8 out of 10 times, you're probably going to throw loop somebody at least 3 or 4 times before you go like, damn, I should probably hit him with immediate, and then they block the immediate, and then you go, man, I really could have went for another throw. That's kind of crazy, right? So Luke has all the tools in which to make himself good, right? Manon, on the other hand, she really benefits if you are burned out, right? The other aspect of Street Fighter 6. We'll have Luke again. The other aspect of Street Fighter 6. Manon has like a pseudo infinite block string. So we'll make Luke block all. We'll get rid of his meter, right? Let's say like he just used it and now he's burned out. Manon can do this all day, right? So you can do this, push you to the corner, right? And then hit you like with a DI, right? So Manon plays a different game to where you might think another one's coming and then you get command grab, right? You might think you know, you're gonna do nothing, right? Or you're gonna try to jump out of the command grab, and then boom, you're gonna get hit by this. Because let's say you're afraid of the command grab, which, I mean, we all should be, right? We all should be. We'll do forward jump, right? Right? You can't jump. Now, if she went for the command grab, of course you can jump. But, you know, Manon can just, you know, she can combo you into that. Hit confirm. Right? Now, boom. You're, you know, now you're constantly getting hit. So, the game is balanced in a way, but everybody plays the game at different moments. Manon plays the game better when you're burned out. Luke plays the game better kind of all the time, right? But of course, he's always better with meter. You know, other characters, right? We can talk about it. Characters like Ed do not do good, realistically, if you're burned out, right? So Ed, right? We'll keep Luke here, right? Ed is a character that I love Ed, but when you're burned out, Ed has no way of doing chip damage at all, because they made the recent nerf is that this is -0 now. Let me turn this off. Is that now this is -0. So the only real way to get chip damage is to do OD Fireball. But as you see, right, they are out of range of all of Ed's normals. Compared to Manon, where she moves forward, keeping her plus, allowing you to guess. Now, Ed, of course, has Snatcher, which, you know, a person can, you can pull him in. You're +8. That's so amazing. But, I mean, if he sees me charging Snatcher and he jumps, you know, then I'm about to eat the fattest heavy punch or heavy kick of my life. If I'm charging heavy Snatcher like this, and then he does, you know, Avenger Tackle, right? I'm gonna be mad. All of my blitz are hella negative, right? Very, very, very negative. So it's never like even my normal fireball, -1. The only way I can reliably do damage is through here, right? Now this is +3, but Manon's is a 7 frame. This is a 9 frame, right? So I can do something like this maybe, but as you see, they constantly get pushed back. So Ed doesn't really do well. And not like he doesn't do well, but when you're burned out, Ed doesn't really gain much. Ed actually does better when you have meter, right? Because then the mind games that Ed is supposed to have happens, right? Right? I mean, I know they nerfed this, which is kind of shitty. You know, so I mean, this was supposed to be his mind game. But then, you know, stuff like this can happen. And then now you start your offense. Bada bing, bada boop. But when they don't have meter, all they have to do is block, because Ed doesn't have an overhead or a way of really opening up opponents. All he can do after he pulls you in, right, if you're burned out, is he's +8, so he can go for, you know, a punch, a heavy punch, right? He can go for something. Or he's just going to throw you, right? It's because it's going to be either he's going to hit you or he's going to throw you, right? Ed only has 2 options after he pulls you in. Comparatively to when you're not burned out, right? I can do this, and then you might parry, and then I can get a throw. I can do this. You might DI, then I can cancel, then I can beat your DI, right? Ed is a character that really does good against people who are not burned out, surprisingly, right? Which is always interesting. So overall, I mean, and you know, I don't want this video to go over about like every character, right? But certain characters like Jamie do really good when you're burned out because of his forward heavy punch. Bing, bang, bang, bing, bang, bang, right? Those are really good. Kimberly obviously does really well when you're burned out. JP does really well like when you're burned out. Because he's able to do chip damage. Ryu, obviously. Ken is another character where he has mind games with his Jinrai kicks. He can bait out DIs. He can bait out parries. Same with Chun-Li, right? A lot of characters are going to benefit more when you're burned out, or they're going to benefit more when you have meter, right? Because they're able to punish parries or punish DIs, and other characters are able to have infinite block strings, like Aki can have an infinite block string and chip damage while you're burned out, right? She's a very good like combo string. Same with like Terry and, you know, Akuma and stuff like that. So overall, I do think Street Fighter 6 is a very balanced game. You just have to understand the opponent that you're fighting, as well as understanding what you should not do. Right? Now, I'm not saying that if Ed is bad against burnout, burn yourself out, because Ed won't have nothing. Like, that's still not the plan. But if you're fighting Ed, you need to be like, okay, he might just be baiting out parries and DIs. Let me be on the lookout for that. But then if you're fighting a Manon, she's like, okay, I should not spend all of my drive gauge, because if I fuck up and then she hits me with a standing medium punch, I'm about to fucking explode because she might bait out my super because she's +3 and she can really do whatever the hell she wants after. So I hope this video helped you. Remember, every character is good in Street Fighter 6. The reason I say this is because cheaters exist. A cheater can hit rank 1 with any character because of perfect parries and reacting in DI and reacting with supers. It's superhuman, sure, but it's not impossible, right? So always practice your perfect parries, practice fake setups that you should be DIing, and practice buffering supers in the corner so you don't get wall stunned, right? Very important, right? Moderns do it a little easier because the moment they see that flash, they just hit the fucking 2 buttons and bada bing, bada boop, they're safe. But thank you, everybody. Make sure to subscribe, comment, comment, leave a like, and I'll see you again next video. See ya!